Welcome to today's Be a Better Boater segment. We're going to talk about bilge pumps. So there's a lot of ways that water gets inside of a boat. You could leak through the bilge hole where you have the plug at. It could be raining outside. You could be swimming, jump in the water and come out and be dripping all over, and that runs into the bilge of the boat, the bottom. Or you could be filling it up with a hose. No matter how the water gets into the boat, it all collects in the bilge, and we have to figure out how to get it out. Now that it's tilted back, it can get to the pump. Now I'll show you how it works. This boat is equipped with an automatic and a manual bilge pump. The automatic one senses the water and starts to turn on, no matter what. Manual bilge pump, you have to turn on the switch to make it go. Did you notice that the bilge pump's running on this boat and the battery switch is turned off? That's wired properly. Somebody comment here below and tell me why. This boat's kind of a unique circumstance that it has two bilge pumps in it, and they're both different sizes. The one on the left is a 500 gallon per hour, port to port. The one on the right hand side is a 750 gallon per hour. Now, the bilge collects all of the water from the boat, so it also collects everything else from the boat, including old pieces of wire, dirt, scum. Everything nasty ends up in the bilge. One thing that bilge pumps don't like is fishing line. It gets sucked up in the little grates and goes around the impeller inside there and makes them freeze up. And then when they freeze up, they burn up. And I know a lot of you have probably said, I know I've got a bilge pump. I know all about bilge pumps. Bobby, come on, be a better boater. I already know this. I'm gonna tell you something that you don't know. And if you did know that, you can comment, I knew that on here. But I guarantee you, there are not gonna be many comments of this. I'm gonna teach you something about bilge pumps and safety that you never thought of. Let's go inside. The wiring up a bilge pump is pretty easy. This one's switched, so this brown wire will go to the switch that's on the boat. The black wire goes to the ground. Now, one thing that this always has to do is have fuse protection, like anything on a boat. But bilge pumps are special as to why they need fuse protection, and that's what you're gonna learn now. And most people don't know this. I'm talking like most people. On a bilge pump, this is made of plastic because it will corrode. If it weren't made out of plastic, it would melt down, but they still like to corrode. Each motor has a rotor that spins in the bottom here, and that will get fishing line tied up around it or just might get stuck eventually. Well, the motor inside of here has a thin little wire that makes a winding in it. This motor gets stuck in here, and you put a 20 amp, 30 amp fuse in line on this, it's not gonna trip that fuse because it's rated for too high of amperage because it's only gonna use maybe 15, 10 amps once it gets stuck, which isn't going to trip that fuse. You don't trip that fuse. This is made out of plastic. It heats up. It's a big ball of plastic melting down on fire right below your fuel lines and your engine. Bad scenario. You always make sure that you fuse these properly so that it will trip in the case that that motor gets stuck. 5 amps on this one specifically. Usually it'll tell you on the box. So there's your bilge pump information. Now watch what else you can do.